I'm Leah.
And we are here to talk about this saved woman. I'm a saved woman too. So I created She Prayed, her prayer CD, and basically there are different tracks that deal with different issues that women face: abortion, depression, domestic violence, all types of things like that. But one of the tracks specifically is called Save Woman, and it's me talking to every women who may feel like they don't know God, they don't believe in God, they may feel disconnected from God, and it's basically a prayer and a talk straight to them. And so when I was thinking about it, I thought about you and your testimony, and I wanted to just have you share, because you have such a powerful testimony. I've witnessed just your growth. I'm so proud of you. I don't think I'm more proud of anybody. I could think maybe one person, but other than that, like, y'all equal. My mentee. I remember when we were in undergrad, so we went to undergrad together with the Grand Valley State University, and I remember seeing statuses sometimes.
What was I saying? What was I saying? I'm so nervous.
Crazy stuff.
Like what?
I don't remember a particular status, but it was like
along the lines of what?
There is no Jesus.
You lying.
I do remember somebody, because I think I started my walk with Christ after we graduated, so when I was in grad school, but we was still, all of our clique was like still real cool.
Right.
And I remember somebody actually called me one time and was like, did you see what Leah posted? Like, that's your girl, right? I was like, yeah, I love her. Y'all saw it?
I mean,
I don't remember exactly what it was, but at that moment when you were like in undergrad, like go back to that moment, what were you like thinking? What was your thoughts towards religion, Christianity, all of that?
up until college, and through college for sure, I definitely questioned everything. I definitely questioned the existence of God at all. I definitely wouldn't consider myself religious at all. I questioned the existence of all of it because I didn't grow up. My mom would take us to church sometimes, but it was never, that was just it. Okay. And my dad was for sure atheist.
Okay. I actually respect when people are like, I just don't know right now. I'm not, like more cautious, because that means that they actually want to find out the truth. Like, a lot of people grew up in church and they just do it because their parents do it. It's no questions. It's no even searching for truth. So like, it sounds like you went on a journey and you were like, I don't have truth, and then when you found truth, you committed.
Yeah, and I feel like I had a series of encounters that led me to believe, like, okay, this is real. There's nothing else that could be going on here.
So I graduated in 2007, so I think from 2007, you guys saved in what year?
2017.
So for 10 years, like, you don't understand, me, Ev, and Eb, we did a whole fast. Like, we gonna just pray for Leah. We want her to know the Lord.
That's amazing.
Back, this maybe was like in 2008 or 9, or when I got to grad school, like some of our other friends started to go to church and get like reconnected to God. And I remember we would be so nervous to invite you to things. Well, I thought you were atheist. I mean, your Facebook posts, your Instagram, Twitter posts would make someone think that you were atheist. It was like, I would be like, so I would always be nervous to invite you to things. And so that I didn't want you to feel like I wasn't inviting you or including you. But then, I would be like sending text messages and just put the phone down. Because I'm like, I didn't know if you felt like I was trying to convert you, or, you know what I mean? So, like, what were you thinking at that time? Like, if I would invite you to something like the church or to like an event or something?
I definitely did feel like
I was trying to convert you.
But I felt like it was definitely from a place of, like, I knew it was from a place of, like, friendship. And, like, I didn't feel like it was like, oh, Leah needs to be saved, right? I felt like it was from a place of like, from love and friendship. But I felt the same way, like, oh, I didn't want to invite you to stuff. I didn't know if I could.
Yeah, invite me to stuff, like what?
Like if I don't know, a party or something like that.
Yeah, well, a lot of people didn't. Like, today, they still don't invite me to stuff, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Well, that's how I feel now. Like, it's okay, don't invite me, I don't want to come.
How did you become a saved woman?
Okay. Well, I feel like my story is one that definitely happened over years. I don't feel like I had. I know a lot of people have like just this one moment where they feel like they had an encounter with God, and that's what changed their life, and they never turned back. For me, I feel like it was something that happened over the course of the years. I think maybe like 7, because my older daughter is 5, so like 7 years ago. I was just in a really like bad place. There was a lot going on. I was trying to fill a void that I had. So I was having, I had 4 miscarriages back to back. And I think what I was trying to do was fill a void that I had in my life. And I didn't know what it needed to be filled with. I thought that it needed to be filled at the time with a baby. I felt like I was at the point in my life where I wanted to have a baby. So I kept trying and it kept happening.
You kept having a miscarriage.
I kept having miscarriages, right. So I felt like the only thing that could fill this void that I had that could make me whole was having a baby. When she got here, while I loved her more than anything, there was still something missing. And I think, what I was saying, I was thinking a lot of times we think that we need to be whole before we have a relationship, or we think a man can make us whole sometimes. And I think we think the same way about kids. Like, we think that kids can make us whole, but that's not their responsibility. Mm-hmm. We should be whole for our kids the same way we should be whole for a relationship. So that didn't necessarily fill the void either. And I tried, I would go to church sometimes and think like, okay, I knew maybe this is what it was. Maybe this is what I needed to fill the void. But I wasn't ready to let my life over to God, really, not really. I still wanted to have my own plan. I still wanted to do things my own way. And I knew exactly what I thought my life was supposed to look like. And I didn't think that if I gave my life over to God that it was going to be the plan that I had. So after Ari was born and I was with her father, at this point, this is when I was starting to try to kind of find God and figure all of that out. And so for me, I was ready to start trying to live a certain way. And it wasn't because I was even 100% sure yet, but it was because I felt like maybe that would help me figure it out.
Okay.
But he wasn't ready. And because at the time, that relationship was more important to me, I kind of just gave up and was like, okay, well.
So your relationship with your boyfriend at that point was more important than a relationship with God, because at that point you didn't even know if God is real, but right. You know boyfriend is real.
Exactly.
Okay.
And he was there.
He was there right there.
And it fell apart. That relationship fell apart. Probably I had 2 more relationships after that fell apart, that again, just trying to fill void. And then I met someone who they were very close to God, or I believe that they were very close to God. That's what they showed me. And they were definitely the person who reintroduced me to church, and they brought me to church with them. And that's how I found the church that I'm at now. Mm-hmm. And this person, this relationship that I was in, they were constantly telling me that God was telling them that we were supposed to be together. God was telling them that we were supposed to be married. And because I thought, okay, this person is further in their walk with God than I am, I didn't even ask God for myself. I was just like, okay, I believe you. Okay, mm-hmm. Good, because I want to be with you, so good, I believe you. And I felt like, once again, it fell apart because it had nothing to do, I was putting that relationship over my own personal relationship with God, and it fell apart. And I think that was the trend. Like, things would just fall apart. My plans would completely fall apart. And I remember when I got baptized, which is a year ago. I got baptized on Easter. I got baptized the last Easter.
I think that was the best day of my life.
And, I remember literally that week after I got baptized, I got in a bad car accident, so totaled my car. The relationship that I was in, not to mention I was pregnant at the time. Mm-hmm. That relationship completely fell apart. And I remember you telling me, like, you're being tested. I wish I still had the text message, or I could go back that far, but I remember you telling me, like, you're being tested. And I just started feeling like, okay, I have to completely 100% surrender my life and give it over, because every time I try to do things on my own, it's falling apart. Every time I think I have these great plans, they fall apart. And
how did you feel before Christ versus after Christ? Like, just how you feel in your, like, day-to-day your life.
I just feel like I don't know, it's so weird, but I feel very much like I don't like myself. I guess it feels like I was able to come into who I was, because before I was just like searching, and I really did, like, I went through like a lot of different random identities, like yeah. Like I did, like trying to be all of these different things. And I feel like once I found my identity in Christ, like I'm able to really settle into who I really am, and not have to worry about what anybody else thinks. Like, I know that I'm who I'm living for, so I know that I'm who I am.
So you feel like you have an identity now.
Yeah.
You were searching for identity.
Yeah.
Doing
I was all over the place. Like really, like just so random.
So when you're searching for God, why did you pick the route of Christianity?
I think it felt the most real to me. It felt the most like tangible. This is a real. It's hard to explain.
It's something that's unexplainable.
But it felt honestly, like that's really. It just felt the most real to me. Like I have family members who are Muslim, so I know things about different religions.
So you could have went either route. Like you could have went several routes, but you it just felt Christianity felt right to you. It was just a feeling that you were.
It felt the most real to me.
Okay. So like, did you like prefer? Did you want? Because I'm just trying to think about the woman who maybe she's an atheist, maybe she doesn't believe in God. Her friend is saying that she may feel uncomfortable, like what to do. Like, would you have preferred that we kind of take a step back, or is it something that we could have done differently, or did you want us to reach out and like invite you to church and things like that?
It wasn't at the time that I want to be invited. I wouldn't say that I want to be invited, but I think I would have came.
Yeah, you did. I got up the courage to finally ask you, and you actually came, and you went to the altar for prayer. I was like, do it, Jesus.
I remember that. I definitely.
That was right after you had the miscarriage, and I didn't even know you had the miscarriage. I reached out to you, invited you to church, and the pastor actually was like, if you dealing with an illness in your body, touch your body, and I saw you touch your stomach, and I was like, real tears, God, real tears.
I remember that. I definitely remember.
And so every seed matters. It happened over a course of time. It wasn't like one particular event. So I feel like they say one, plants the seed, one waters, but God gives the increase. So we were just planting seeds when we were praying, and it seemed like it would never happen. It was 10 years in the making.
And I'm glad that you were praying. I'm glad that
you were on the top of my prayer list. Like, you don't understand. You do not understand. Like, that's why I was like, you don't understand how much you mean to me. Like, these babies mean to me. Like, your salvation means to me, because it was like something that it looked impossible. But so I would just encourage anybody who has a friend maybe who isn't saying, like, they'll be pushy, because we gave you your space. Yeah. But I was still myself. I didn't water down who I was. But absolutely. But I still invited you, like, like not all the time, but like, and it wasn't like no force. You know what I mean? Like. So still reach out, like, to your friends. Still definitely be yourself. Like, you ain't gotta act like you're not a Christian or not talk about God, because you were still open. And I remember one time we went to, because Mongolian barbecue was our thing, and we went, and I was like, you were basically saying like you just didn't know, like you didn't know what to believe, and I was like, well, why don't you just read the Bible? He was like, oh, I'll do that. I was like, you just read the Bible.
And I think I did. I at that time, I think I read it like all the way through.
Oh, you read it? You did. And that's so funny, because so many Christians who would say, hey, read the Bible all the way through, but someone's searching for truth. Yeah. You know what I mean? You want to come to me? You want to be in the camera? Oh. So, I think that I'm just really proud of you, and I'm happy about what God is doing in your life. I guess give some, like, what would you have wanted to hear when you were in that place where you didn't know if God was real or if you didn't believe? What could you tell that girl today?
I would say if you feel like you are constantly searching for something, whether it's the next relationship, the next job, friendship, anything that comes and goes, and you're constantly searching for something that's gonna fill all of these voids, to look to the only person who does, like, God doesn't change. So all of these things in the world, they're gonna change. The relationships are gonna come and go. Jobs are gonna come and go. Friendships are gonna come and go. So those things can't fill any void forever. And I feel like that's the relationship aspect is what would have brought me in sooner. So I think just a relationship with God is the part that I would love to tell, women about, and that's what I think a lot of times people miss, because there's so many people who are worried about the religion aspect that we miss the whole relationship aspect, and that's what I needed.
Kind of what you were searching for. It was like an emptiness. You kept searching in different places,
and I couldn't find it, and that's what I found now. So that's what I would say. I would say look to God for that relationship, because that doesn't change, and He's always going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Dear woman, God saves you by His grace when you believe, and you can't take credit for this. It is a gift from God. Salvation is not a reward for the good things you have done, so none of us can boast about it.